Hi everyone, hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, 2 weeks ago, the government had issued a gazette notice with a revised new charges for the government services. When you need an ID, in the previous one, they had indicated that you have to pay 1,000 for a new ID, and if you are looking for replacement of a lost ID, then you have to part away with the 2,000. To talk about passport and other things, of course, we had analyzed in the previous video. But then after that, Kithure Kindiki has again come out and he is issuing changes on government services, including the replacement of ID. And this is after uproar from Kenyans. So what's going to happen? According to the Gazette notice that has been issued on Tuesday, the replacement of ID is going to cost 1,000 shillings from 2,000. Then secondly, he's talking about the needy Kenyans. According to the Gazette notice, the needy Kenyans will get a waiver during the application of the ID. But however, the exact change has not been indicated. Though, again, you have to demonstrate the inability to pay for them to waive the charges. Look at that. Then it tells you that for applying for the new ID, it has maintained at 1,000. So replacement 1,000, applying 1,000, but for the needy Kenyans, you have to demonstrate the inability so that they can waive for you or reduce the amount. These are new changes after Kenyans making complaint. But above all, Kithure Kindiki is directing the State Department for Immigration and Citizen Services to conduct and complete a public participation for the prices by December 10, 2023. So the fact remains that after the public participation, these new changes will be implemented from next year, January. So ikifika January, wale wenye mjapata kitambulisho mjipange na 1,000. Wale vitambulisho zimepotea, jipange na 1,000. And the need, you have to demonstrate that you have to demonstrate the inability to pay for this government to waive those charges. This is now the new developing story. But above all, we have questions to ask. If Kithure Kindiki has directed the State Department for Immigration and Citizen Services to conduct a public participation, what are they looking for? And if so, why is he making changes before the public participation? Because, our 2010 Constitution gave power to the people. When you want to make any changes or introduce something new, you have to go and tell the public on what you want to do and take the views from the public before you move forward. That means if public will say that 1,000 is huge, make it 500 or 200 or don't change. You have to take the position of the majority. Hiyo ndio mambo ya democracy. Minority should have their say and a majority should have their way. Why is Kithure Kindiki making changes before that? And what is the meaning of public participation? That is another question. So it tells you that these people are playing with our mind. But above all, Raila Odinga is here and he has a message for William Ruto. It's clear that IDs should be given free for every Kenyan. Why should you buy an ID? Is it a way of showing that you are a Kenyan? So Kenyans should get free IDs because they are a citizen. You cannot buy citizenship as long as you are a Kenyan. That is Raila Amolo Odinga. That tells you that Raila Odinga is well prepared for this war, and soon he might just incite the public against William Ruto's position to hike government services charges.
Taka watu vijana wetu ambao wamehitimu umri ya miaka 18 wawe na vitambulisho na waende wachukue nini? Waende wachukue kura. Tunataka kuzidisha idadi ya watu wetu ambao watachukua kura. Ili kitu muhimu zaidi. Mambo ya ID tutapigana nao hapo. Kitambulisho natakana kila Mkenya apate bila kulipa chochote. Maana hiyo ndio inaonyesha wewe ni Mkenya. Sasa mtu anataka uende ununue kitambulisho kwa Mkenya, na baba yako ni Mkenya, mama yako ni Mkenya. Sasa wamesema ati ukiwa wewe Mkenya ukaenda huko nje ukapata msichana huko, upate mtoto huko, ili aje akawe Mkenya 1,000,000. Je, hii ni ungwana? Hii ni ungwana? Watu wameshindwa. Mambo ya kitambulisho tutasema ni lazima kila Mkenya apewe kitambulisho kama yeye hana pesa.
Now we are continuing with this final discussion, but just a quick request. For those who are watching and you have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. To our returning subscribers, I must say thank you so much. And again, to all our viewers, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much, and back to this discussion. Now, two things here. Number one, which we have already talked about, is making some changes in the Gazette notice before public participation. You have issued a Gazette notice. Then before you take it to the public participation, again you make another change. And the reason behind this is that people are complaining. So what is the meaning of public participation when it has not yet officially started and you are making changes? Watu wamesema uweke hiyo 1,000. Ama hiyo maneno umetoa wapi? Ama uoga umetoka wapi? That's the first question. Secondly, how are you going to effect the issue of waiving for the needy Kenyans? And how are you going to prove their way of demonstrating the inability to pay? In this, I'm reading something here. There is a fishy plan for this regime to have a section, in my view, of some Kenyans who might get IDs free of charge with an intention to vote for the next regime. You look for your stronghold, then you give them an opportunity to get IDs free of charge. Then you check on areas where your opponent has a big say, has a control, and has a majority support. Then in those areas, you start charging Kenyans heavily to apply for IDs, where it might discourage many from applying the ID. So that now in your stronghold, you have more people with the ID and they have voting card. This is one way of this regime to have other section of this country not having a chance to vote. It's a strategy they are using. So you charge some people, because you will find in their stronghold, hakuna mambo ya kuulizwa kama hauna uwezo ueleze ni kwa njia gani hauna uwezo. Itakuwa tu unakuja unapewa kitambulisho. Unakuja unapewa kitambulisho. Hata ile imepotea unapewa bila kuwa charged. Lakini ukienda area zingine, maybe for example Nyanza, Lower Eastern, Coast and Western, unaambia watu leta 1,000 kuapply kitambulisho. Hata mtu akikwambia kwamba hana uwezo wa kuapply, unamwambia demonstrate. Even if they explain the inability to pay, even if they will demonstrate, it's going to be rejected. For example, if you have like 1,000 people demonstrating the inability to pay, you end up giving or issuing to 300. 700 you reject. Na kule kwengine kila mtu hata yule mwenye ako na uwezo unampea. This is something that they are trying to use, and that's why Raila Odinga is coming out to tell Kenyans. Hatutakubali mambo ya kusema ya kwamba Wakenya walipe pesa kupata kitambulisho. And he is because he knows exactly what it means politically. This regime is well aware that it is very hard for them to be re-elected. So they come in a way to make it possible for them to have as many people as possible in their stronghold registered. People that they can manage to give handouts. Let them register massively. But the opponent side, to have that rift whereby you don't have the new people coming on board to register as new voters. So when it will come to recruitment of new voters, you know, before election huwa tunakuwa na ile wakati wa kuambia watu enda chukua kitambulisho, enda jiandikisha kupiga kura, enda chukue kura. There is always that time when you go and mobilize. So you go and create awareness in the society within your stronghold, and in whichever area you want to get the support, the awareness, so that people will go and take IDs. They will go and register as voters. Those who have lost IDs, you go and request for replacement. You get a duplicate. Sasa itahitajika wale wakuwe na pesa, na hao wengine kutakuwa na mchezo wengine itakuwa inafanyika hapa. And Raila is telling them that we are here, we will not allow this to happen. That's why we say that to bring this government down, you need one stone. Just one stone.